White people stole everything. You guys stole everything. Not like 97%. You guys stole 100% of everything.
ISUPK.
Killers of the Flower Moon is so great. Killers of the Flower Moon, the cast is here. Robert De Niro, Leonardo DiCaprio, Lily Gladstone, you guys crushed it. Crushed it. The one thing I learned about that movie is that white people stole everything. You guys stole everything. Not like 97%. You guys stole 100% of everything.
Bitch, I said what I said.
You took the land, you took the oil, you took the premise of the movie.
Black power! Nigger!
What, that was your premise? That's hilarious, I don't care. It's just that the room is really white. The room's like, yeah, we did take it, and?
Everything that this white man said was absolutely 100% true. And everybody knows it. You know, everybody was losing their mind because this cat got on TV and he told the truth. And you know what? Every time you tell the truth, according to America, it becomes somehow racist. So Tom Hanks, he made his statement on the situation. He said it was not racist, but he also said it was not funny. Of course it is not funny because it's a nasty truth. You know, it's a dirty truth that you don't want to get out because that shame that comes over you. And you also very prideful, man. Like, how can telling the truth be racist? If that's the case by your notions, then the whole court system, the justice system is racist because the whole thing is set up for what? To tell the truth, right? To, give people justice. You trying to eliminate the truth so nobody won't have justice. And that is what they're doing with this critical race theory. They don't want you to release the history or tell the truth about their invidious, jaundiced ways, man.
So what is this meeting about? It's about textbooks. Books filled with Marxist, communist, racially divisive ideologies.
CRT is a decades-old academic idea centering the role of racism in cultural and political life. But in the current debate, its meaning is ill-defined.
This critical race theory urges intolerance of all human beings that have been created in the image of God.
I do not agree with teaching children how to feel about things. That is called indoctrination.
I'll be damned if I will allow a Marxist revolution to take place in this country, and we need to reject our children even being taught it.
Like, what is driving this kind of mania that's all happening right now?
Yeah, critical race theory isn't the best term for what they're reacting to. Now, I've heard from parents all over the country with concerns about pretty aggressive identity politics coming in. And they don't, understandably, they don't want their little kid being told when they're 8 that they're responsible for slavery. That being said, some of these laws are popping up before there's really been a problem related to it. And so the CRT laws that have been passed so far are just so sloppily drafted. It leads their opponents to actually argue, does this mean we can no longer talk about slavery?
That's kind of troubling, right?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And the argument that it's chilling speech is almost certainly true. With my lawyer hat on, can they do that? Almost certainly, unfortunately. Supreme Court law, when it comes to the rights of K-12 teachers, they're very weak.
That's the thing that troubles me about this. It's like, you can't use that material. It strikes me as like, okay, well, how do I know that it's wrong unless I read it?
The big part of this is the complete lack of trust of the culture.
You see, it's cool when they do it, but it's a problem when we do it. Like, how dare you try to dismiss 500 years of slavery, rape, robbery, murder, lynchings? How dare you try to dismiss all the hundreds of millions of unalived bodies you caused? The hundreds of millions of Native Americans and so-called Hispanics' unspeakable atrocities. How dare you try to dismiss that? But meanwhile, we are to never forget 9/11, never forget Veterans Day, never forget Pearl Harbor, Never forget the POWs. Never forget the changing of the guards. You don't even know the soldier's name, and we are to never forget them, right? Never forget the Star-Spangled Banner. So even though we put our hands across our chests and honor that bloody flag, and even though the man that made the song is racist and the song is racist, we must never forget it. The Germans are catching 100-year-old Nazis and throwing them in the prisons for what they did 80 years ago. You know why? Because they never forgot what happens to them. But we must forget, right? So if our atrocities is racist, your atrocities is racist. And if our remembrance is racist, your remembrance is racist. So critical race theory or not, I don't give a damn. We're gonna tell the truth unto 1,000 generations, until justice is served.
It is considered one of the most highly regarded positions in the military. A dance of precision, perfection, and perseverance. The few who have performed this solemn duty have earned it. They are the sentinels who guard the tomb of the unknowns.
For me, it represents all soldiers, past, present, and future, and it states that we will never forget their honor and everything that they did for this country.
This most sacred spot at Arlington National Cemetery is watched over by the 3rd U.S. Infantry Regiment, known as the Old Guard. Since 1948, the Sentinels have been keeping constant vigil 24 hours a day, every day, in the exact same way, regardless of the weather.
We will never forget. No matter the uniform we wear, the routes we fly, or the years we've worn our wings, we will always remember the events of September 11th, lift up our heroes, and do everything in our power to ensure the events are never repeated. Everything changed on September 11th, 2001.
A 100-year-old man is standing trial for crimes he allegedly committed as an SS guard at a Nazi concentration camp during World War II. Due to privacy laws, he's only being identified as Joseph S. He's charged with more than 3,500 counts of accessory to murder for the deaths of prisoners at the Sachsenhausen concentration camp between 1942 and 1945.
The national anthem is racist. Here's why. The holiday known as the 4th of July marks the adoption of the Declaration of Independence by the 13 original American colonies in 1776. The Star-Spangled Banner, however, was not considered to be the U.S. national anthem until 1931. Initially titled The Defense of Fort McHenry, the anthem was written in 1814 by a white dude named Francis Scott Key. In order to understand why the national anthem is so problematic, you gotta know Key's backstory. For starters, Francis Scott Key didn't believe in freedom for all. In fact, he was a slave owner. He thought slaves were an inferior race of people who were untrustworthy and indolent. As district attorney for the city of Washington, he fought to defend slavery, opposing abolitionist cases. It's pretty fair to say dude was a racist.
And where is that band who so vauntingly swore that the havoc of war and the battle's confusion, a home and a country should leave us no more? Their blood hath washed out their foul footsteps' pollution. No refuge could save the hireling and slave from the terror of flight or the gloom of the grave, and the Star-Spangled Banner in triumph doth wave, or the land of the free and the home of the brave.
I'm not surprised by the hypocrisy of this song. The national anthem, written by a slave-owning white man, condemns valiant black soldiers who were fighting for their own liberation.
Anyone who tries to reformat and reboot and reconstitute and play linguistic gymnastics and view this stanza as something other than what it was is trying to put their 2018 attitudes as a way to rationalize and justify what was endemic white supremacy, white nationalism, and bigotry on the part of a man who lived to create what is supposed to be one of the most patriotic songs in American history.
Land of the free, home of the brave. God bless America, I guess.